Did you know that in ancient times there was said to be a tower so tall it nearly reached the heavens? A structure almost 200 feet high. The Bible tells the story of the Tower of Babel, and it's one of those ancient mysteries that humanity just can't stop trying to uncover. In today's video, you'll dive into the story of the Tower of Babel and explore whether it really existed or not. But first, if you're not subscribed yet, hit that red button and give this video a like to support the channel. The Tower of Babel is one of the most iconic and mysterious structures mentioned in ancient texts, especially in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, chapter 11. According to the story, after the Great Flood, all of humanity still spoke a single, unified language. People began to settle together in the land of Shinar, a region believed to be in modern-day Iraq. There, they decided to build a city and a tower with its top in the heavens. But this was no ordinary tower. It wasn't built just for shelter or defense. It was meant to reach the sky, a bold and symbolic act of human ambition. The builders believed that by creating such a monument, they could make a name for themselves and stay united as one people in one place. But according to the story, this desire for unity and self-glorification challenged divine authority. In the biblical narrative, God observed what humanity was doing and decided to intervene. His solution was not to destroy the tower directly, but to confuse their language so they could no longer understand one another. Suddenly, builders couldn't coordinate, communicate, or collaborate. The construction halted, and the people scattered across the earth. The city was then named Babel, which in Hebrew sounds like the word for confusion. This moment marked, symbolically, the origin of different languages and cultures across the world. The Tower of Babel has since become a powerful metaphor, representing human pride, the limits of ambition, and the origins of linguistic and a cultural diversity. But it also raises a major historical question. Was it just a story? Or was there a real tower that inspired the legend? Why was the tower built? The story begins with a man named Nimrod, the grandson of Noah. Nimrod was a powerful leader and hunter, and according to tradition, he founded several cities in Mesopotamia. He was also the one who initiated the construction of the Tower of Babel. But why build such a colossal structure? There were three main reasons. Protection. Having witnessed the devastation of the Great Flood, Nimrod feared it could happen again. The tower, in his eyes, would act as a refuge, allowing people to climb above the rising waters if another flood occurred. Revenge. Nimrod wasn't just trying to reach God. Some interpretations suggest he wanted to challenge or confront him, holding resentment for the suffering his family endured during the flood. Building a tower to the heavens was both a bold and defiant act. Unity and power, Nimrod wanted to keep humanity centralized, under his leadership and within a single city. By doing this, he hoped to consolidate power and prevent people from spreading out. But this directly opposed God's command to fill the earth. Building the tower, then, was not just an architectural project, it was a political, cultural, and even spiritual mission. It symbolized resistance, ambition, fear, and unity, all at once. Some legends even describe Nimrod using the tower to ascend to heaven with the intention of waging war against God, a symbolic gesture of human pride and rebellion. Others believed it was an attempt to anchor all human civilization around a single central monument. Construction on the tower reportedly brought together a massive, organized workforce unlike anything seen before in that era. People from different tribes and regions were united under one vision. The project became a symbol of what humanity could achieve when working in harmony, or, from another perspective, when unified under a singular human authority instead of divine guidance. So, construction began. Thousands of workers, speaking one language, joined together with a single vision. Brick by brick, the tower grew higher, rising far above the surrounding cities. According to legend, the tower took 43 years to build and stood 8,032 feet tall, nearly 1.5 miles. That's almost 3 times taller than today's tallest building. The Bible says that back then, everyone on earth spoke the same language. The tower was used for astrology and to worship pagan gods, not the God of the Bible. Because of this, God decided to stop the construction. He confused their languages, making it impossible to communicate. This event gave rise to the name Babel, which means confusion in Hebrew. All across Iraq, there are tall ancient structures called ziggurats, towers built to reach the gods. Many believe the Tower of Babel may have been one of these. These stepped temple structures were often dedicated to local deities and served both religious and astronomical purposes. Some historians believe the story of the Tower of Babel could have been inspired by one particularly famous ziggurat, Etemenanki, a massive temple tower located in Babylon. Etemenanki's name translates to Temple of the Foundation of Heaven and Earth, and it was believed to have stood nearly 300 feet tall, monumental for its time. Modern scholars remain divided. Some argue that the biblical narrative is purely symbolic, intended to explain the diversity of languages and cultures. Others believe the legend could have been based on a real architectural marvel, exaggerated over centuries of oral tradition. The biggest challenge is that no definitive archaeological evidence of a tower as massive as described in the Bible has ever been found. However, traces of large-scale foundations, ruins, and ancient inscriptions continue to fuel speculation. Researchers have even used biblical clues to simulate the materials used in construction. The Bible says the tower was made of bricks and bitumen, so scientists recreated ancient clay bricks and tested their strength. The first unbaked clay brick could only support a tower of about 492 feet before collapsing, far from 8,000 feet. But then, they discovered a key verse in Genesis 11:3. "Come, let us make bricks and bake them thoroughly." By firing the bricks at 1,472 degrees Fahrenheit, their strength increased dramatically. One brick could now support over 6,600 pounds of pressure, enough to theoretically build a tower up to 9,842 feet high. Recently, Dr. Andrew George from the University of London examined a 2,500-year-old stone tablet found in Iraq. It contained an ancient drawing of a tower, and next to it, a man wearing a crown. That man, King Nebuchadnezzar II, who ruled Babylon. Between 605 and 562 BC, he was known for his massive building projects and may have played a role in continuing or commemorating the Tower of Babel. The stone tablet not only depicts what appears to be a stepped tower, but also includes a cuneiform inscription. The inscription roughly translates to build the house of the foundation of heaven and earth. I completed its top with bitumen and bright bricks, making it shine like the sun." This poetic line closely mirrors the biblical account and even references the same construction materials, bitumen and bricks. Some archaeologists believe this tablet may represent the earliest visual depiction of the Tower of Babel, or at the very least, of the Etemenanki ziggurat. The inclusion of King Nebuchadnezzar adds historical weight, as his reign marked a period of vast architectural and cultural development in Babylon. While the image and text alone cannot conclusively prove the existence of the biblical tower, they add a compelling layer of evidence. Combined with other ruins, ziggurats, and textual references, they suggest that a towering structure like Babel may have truly once existed and inspired one of the most enduring stories in human history. So, could the Tower of Babel have really existed? With the technology of the time, it's possible they could have built something far taller than we imagine. But whether it truly reached the heavens? That's still a mystery. Do you believe the Tower of Babel was real? Could ancient civilizations have achieved such an incredible feat? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe for more stories just like this one. We'll see you in the next one.